I always feel like someone's watching me and I have no privacy. Maybe I'm being followed around by a ghost detective. That is the worst intro I've ever done. Welcome to Pico Playtime, the video series where I play through some cool Pico 8 games to show to you lovely people. And today, it definitely is a very cool Pico 8 game. This is Ghost Detective by Snowbird. Now, this isn't Snowbird's first Pico 8 project, but it's the first one that they've posted onto the Pico 8 BBS, which is how I found it. Well, I found it through Explore, through the new cartridges list. But anyway, having a closer look on Snowbird's itch page, they've already posted some other Pico 8 games, and there's some other games on there as well, so go and check out their itch page. But today I'm here to show you Ghost Detective. So let's get it loaded up. It's got a very minimal title screen. We've got a rather moody, atmospheric cigarette. This is very, very noirish, this game. We are a ghost detective. I'm not entirely sure what the ghost element of this is, but it sounds cool, doesn't it? Anyway, we're a detective, and we need to solve the case. Now, normally, when I would show you one of these Pico 8 games, I'll usually try and play through the game all the way through, or at least as far as I can get. Didn't do that with this one, because, well, for a start, it was pretty obvious very early on that I had what looked like a very good candidate for a Pico Playtime video. But because this is a detective game and a puzzle game, if I played it through a second time, it'd be unavoidable for me to not give out lots of spoilers if I'm going to show you things. So I only played through a little bit of the first part, well, of the level rather, before thinking, yeah, let's do a video on this. So this is kind of like a sort of first playthrough. I'll try and talk through the tutorial as best I can, but I'm not going to go too much into the level, because if you do want to play this game, you want to experience it for the first time in the kind of, you know, without spoilers, basically. So there you go. That's basically my long-winded way of saying spoiler alert. Anyway, on the title screen then, we've got very minimal music in this, but it's nice to see some atmospheric music. We can change the colour of the palette. Yes, we're talking about a low colour Pico 8 game, which is always cool to see. There's some cool glitchy effects as well. I like the way that the text and all the elements on the title screen kind of move about. Gives it a bit of an unsettling look. Now, there's an option here for controlling the amount of screen shake. The normal amount of screen shake is quite a lot, so I can understand why this was a feature that was added in version 1.2, which is the current version. I can understand why this was added, because there's quite a lot of screen shake. It's an indie game. Indie games are all about particle effects and screen shake, are they not? Anyway, I'm going to turn the screen shake down a little bit, just because that's how I like it. And then, yeah, let's look at the cores as well. Dried berry, retrograde, bounoir. I think retrograde is a good look for what I want to go for. Anyway, let's get started then. A game by Snowbird. So, this is the kind of opening area, kind of a tutorial. So we can move around in such a way. As you note, as you can probably see, we've got that interesting smoke effect as well. Cool. Yeah, we have got a kind of target reticule thing, which is basically where we are going to take a photo. This is a game about taking photos of evidence, of items and things in a house to try and uncover the mystery of the murder. I believe it's a murder. You can see how far I've got into this game before I decide we've got some music. That came out of nowhere. Yeah, we have got some cool moody music. I didn't think we were going to get that little theme then. Very strange music, but it sets the mood and I like it. Yeah, we've got a cool little ghosty character here, and you can see we've got some text telling us how to do things. So if I press X, it's going to take a picture of some evidence. In this case, a skull. Oh dear. So you take a photo, and you get a little bit of text to tell you what you're looking at, basically. So this plays like, well, I suppose this plays like is this a standard detective game? I'm not sure. The game it reminds me most of is the board game Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective, which I play I've played nearly through every single one of those. There's like 4 boxes at this point of cases. It's one of my favourite kind of traditional board games, I suppose. I suppose it's a board game. There isn't a board, but you play it like a board game. Anyway, this game reminds me of that, which is why I wanted to make a video of it. Go and check out Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective if you like detective things, or Sherlock Holmes, or boxes. Anyway, it reminded me of that. When you take a photo of a thing, you get a little bit of text to give you some information to help you uncover things. You can take more than one photo, like I suppose it's like taking a photo from different angles, and that gives you some more text to help you along. So, in Ghost Detective, your task is to solve a murder case through photographic evidence. I feel like I've already said that. Every coloured object can be photographed, but not every detail is useful. So you need to use a little bit of detective skills here, a little bit of deduction, a little bit of common sense to try and work out what's going on. You only have, well, I think they're probably, well, it says there, look, take 6 pictures to proceed. Every picture will reveal something new about an object, but you have limited pictures. Top right, you can see we have got 3 photographs left to take. I guess he didn't get any new film in his camera, did he? Or maybe he needs to buy a new SD card. Is this a digital camera that we're using, or is it a traditional one? The kind of noiriness of it, that's a word, noiriness. The noiriness of it, I'm imagining a kind of traditional film camera. Does it really matter? Not really. Let's take another photo. Did I do that? No. So make informed decisions. You won't be able to examine everything. Again, I feel like I kind of said that. Maybe I should just say what the tutorial says instead of trying to explain it. Leg bone. As the case concludes, you will answer a series of questions about the murder and the culprit's motive to determine your score. You'll have to think outside the box and find your own path through the evidence. Good luck. And that's it for the tutorial. Once we've taken those photos, this path opens up and we can step into the question mark to proceed. In the in the kind of the main area of the game, the question mark is kind of like, we finished, we know what's happened, and then you get asked questions at the end. Again, this is very similar to Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective. I haven't played any other detective games. Maybe this is just a thing that detective games do. But anyway, that's what it reminds me of. So, hold X to proceed. Nice transition. So good I had to do it twice. So here we are in the main area of the game. We have got a house in quite a state of disrepair. Now, a bullet. Our first piece of evidence. I mean, yeah, we could take a photo of the fireplace. Doesn't seem the most incriminating piece of furniture. A bullet, however, that does seem significant. Let's take a photo of it then. A bullet. A shot bullet. The tip curled up like a tulip and dotted with blood. Oh my. That seems like somebody may have been shot, doesn't it? So there's a bullet there. Now, I'm looking here, a bullet hole. So look, we've got a bullet hole, and then here we have a bullet. Oh no, we have a sofa. But in front of the sofa, we have a bullet. I wonder if it's been shot through that wall. So let's go through here. A chalk outline. We've found a body. This is why I didn't want to get too far into this game, because it's going to be spoilerific, isn't it? But yeah, I think if you can't find the body in this game, you know, maybe this isn't the game for you. Anyway, I don't think I'm going too far into spoilers just yet. Let's take a photo of the body. That seems like a good start. You know, that's the sort of thing a police detective might do. The victim, the autopsy report hasn't come back yet, but the following was clear. So as you can see, if we take another photo now, we'll get a little bit more information. Let's try that. Victim, confirmed as Ethan Blum, 42, male. Now, as you can see, there's a little bit of the sheet of paper, if you like, on which these notes are. Looks like it carries on. So I think if we did take some more photos, we'd probably get a little bit more detailed information. I imagine you'll get to a certain point where you've kind of exhausted that item's useful information, but you probably don't want to do that for most items. I mean, if we go back and examine that fireplace, I don't imagine... I mean, it looks as though that man has been shot by someone, doesn't it? I don't imagine the fake fireplace is going to figure much into this crime. I mean, you know, like in detective films and police shows and things, maybe they'll throw a letter into a fireplace to try and hide the evidence. I'm not sure you can do that with a fake fireplace, though. Real wood inside it. Oh. Dust has settled on the logs. This changes everything. No! I was going to solve that case by looking at the fake fireplace. Too bad. Dirty shoe prints. That's incriminating. What have we got here? A laptop. A letter draft. Interesting. Wonder what the oh, the music's doing something new. I like this music. It's very different. Very atmospheric music. And I haven't really said enough at the moment about, besides how I love the idea of a detective game. Aren't the graphics cool in this? The Pico 8 palette is so versatile. You've got 32 colours. The standard 16 colour palette is incredibly versatile. Once you add in those extra other 32 colours, your chances of making a bad looking game drastic go down. This is using what? Is there 3 colours in this? 4 colours if you count the background colour, I suppose. It just gives it such a cool look, doesn't it? And all the animation, the cool kind of targeting reticule effect, the weird smoke trail thing coming out of the top of our ghost's head. Is he just walking around puffing away on cigarettes? That's like a noir detective thing, isn't it? I don't know. But yeah, the animation, all the graphics, look at all the little bits of detail. Look, there's just some, what's that there? Trail of blood. That looks like some actual evidence. Some more blood. Dirty shoe prints. So much detail. Pico 8 doesn't give you a lot of space in which to create sprites and graphics for your game. There are ways around it, but the standard Pico 8 sprite sheet is not very big. So in a game like this, where there is a lot of detail in the sprites, it's not the kind of game where we're reusing the same sprites a lot. I mean, you can see, for example, the wall sprites. They're obviously getting reused for the walls around the house, but there is a lot of kind of one-off details. Fitting all of that into an old stain. Fitting all of the graphics into the Pico 8 sprite sheet is a very impressive achievement on the part of Snowbird, because yeah, this house looks great. It looks kind of grimy. There's a lot of debris, glass shards. So there's a dead body. There are blood splatters, a spray of blood. There is a bullet hole. There is a bullet. You can kind of draw a line, can't you? Imagining where the path that bullet may have taken. Shattered window. You see, I could take a photo of that, perhaps find something out. A slim, tall window with a round hole at shoulder height. Shoulder height. You're going to want to spend some time with this game and really go through all of the available evidence that you can collect. There is a challenge element in how quickly can you, or in how few moves rather, can you solve the case. Again, this reminds me of Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective, because the object of the game, the goal of that game, is to try and solve the cases in as few moves as possible, in as few Sherlockian moves as possible, making those leaps of logic, making those deductions. That's what a detective's all about, isn't it? Well, that's what detective in literature and fiction is all about. You know, it's not about just pounding the streets and asking questions, is it? No. That would make a fun game, would it? So yeah, if we decided we could hold X to wrap up the case, so far all I've established is that someone has been shot. So I'm not going to be winning any prizes. Whatever. Do detectives win prizes for solving cases? Do they get little chocolate bars saying you did it? I don't know. What else have we got out here? A mailbox. Wonder what information could be in there. A flower bed. Perhaps that is going to solve this case. Fresh soil. A tasteful variation of a well cared for perennials. Mostly winter roses. No herbs. Nothing edible. These flowers are lookers. Nice. So yeah, I'm deliberately going to the objects in the game which don't really have a lot of bearing, or I don't think will have a lot of bearing on the case. What's that there? A broken camera. Interesting. Yeah, I really didn't want to spoil this game because it just seems so detailed and cool. We've got prints. More prints. Profile B. What does it mean by profile B, I wonder? Smaller running shoe prints. perhaps a woman's. The plot thickens. Now, I don't want to spend any more time vaguely skirting around what might be going on in this mystery game. This is a mystery game and it's a puzzle game. If this looks like the sort of thing that interests you, then you should probably have closed this video about 10 minutes ago and gone to go and play it. If you had taken that time to make your mind up, I hope my little video skimming through the surface level of this game, I hope that has helped make your mind up that this indeed is something you want to play. This is a really cool game. I've never played a detective game like this on Pico 8. It's really cool to see the console. Well, it's a fantasy console, but it's really cool to see Pico 8 being used in such a creative way. So hats off to Snowbird for making such a cool game. I mean, even without the really nice kind of 4-color graphics and the weird animation and the weird music, even without all that lovely presentation, this would still be a really cool game. I mean, from what I've seen so far, the writing of the game, the writing of the puzzle seems really strong. It seems like there's enough, I feel as though there's enough detail in these bits of evidence for you to kind of join the dots and kind of, you know, make those leaps of logic and deductions, which is what you want in a game like this. So, yeah, I'm super impressed with this, and I want to go and solve it now myself because I've not yet done it, and I'm really excited to do so. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching me ramble on about this game. Go and check it out. It is called Ghost Detective. You can play it on itch. Can you download it on itch? Let's have a quick look. I think you can. No, you can just play it on itch, and you can play it on Splore, which I'm playing. You can download it on Splore as well. So yeah, if you've not bought the Pico 8 console yet, do, because it's brilliant. Anyway, yeah, you can play it on Splore, you can play it on itch, you can also find it in the Pico 8 forums. I will put links in the description. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you again very soon.